Daniel Nations.
Fact or fail?
Recently, Daniel conducted an interview.
He now feels disgusted
After being accused of killing 2 teen girls in Delphi, Indiana,
and a legendary cyclist in Colorado.
He's pissed.
And so are we.
He may not have committed the Delphi murders
Or the death of Tim Watkins.
So, is he now a stand-up citizen?
No.
And here's why.
Let's take a quick look
Into the statements made by
the Hatch Man.
This is Daniel Nations. I want to know why I'm not being cleared yet.
When did you first learn that your name was associated to the Delphi killings?
The morning after I woke up in jail.
He totally knew before that. Way before. Me and Greeno had conducted an interview with his wife, Caitlin, and she had said that they had seen it on the news while living in Greenwood and had kept up with it at that time. He's totally lying. Aside of that, I would like to say, well done, inmates. Well played.
Total bullshit. He definitely knew before he arrived in jail because Caitlin had told us in October 2017 that they had even watched it on the news when they were living in Greenwood. So how did he not know about the Delphi crime until he was arrested in Colorado? And the reason the inmates woke him up and was threatening to kill him is because they don't stand for that kind of crap in there. You don't hurt children, you don't rape women, you don't do the things that Daniel Nations does to people.
My name has been put with some heinous things in the last 11 months. And for people to not only put my name with something that I had no idea about, but for them to make up stuff along with it.
This is completely untrue. Myself and Greeno never said one thing concerning Daniel Nations that was untrue. He publicly masturbated, stalked women, asked you like repulsive things like joining him in it, hung out in public bathrooms waiting for women to show up. All true.
Pretty sure that most of the things that were said on the media, by us on YouTube, and by individuals on Facebook. And I'm pretty sure that the videos that we put together on WKAT, the Anthony Greeno channel, and the Michael Cat channel, none of that stuff was false. We provided the documentation to prove what we said is true. It all comes from police reports. It all comes from witnesses who know Daniel. It all comes from the police. So you can't sit there and say that we were throwing things out and your name was placed with all these heinous things, because your name was placed with a bunch of heinous things way before the Delphi case even came up. It just brought it to light for everybody, and I'm glad everybody knows the real you now.
I was on my way to visit my kids. There was a lady who saw me walking. I had a couple bags in my hand with gifts for my children. The lady stopped and she's like, "Would you like a ride? Are you going far?" I was like, "No, I'm just going to the library to see my children." And the lady goes, "Well, I'll give you a ride." And so I go and get in, and the first thing the lady goes is, "You're not a serial killer, are you?"
Damn, that's one lucky bitch.
Fact. Good eye, old lady. And you know what? You're damn lucky you wasn't raped.
Wait, you mean convicted serial killer or accused?
I was like, "No, ma'am, I'm not." It's obvious that she wasn't, it's obvious she didn't know who I was.
Fact. Correct, Danny. She had no fucking clue who you were.
Are there any missing old ladies in Colorado Springs anywhere? Hello? Anybody? Daniel?
Doug Carter go on national television and say that he sat down and spoke with me in Colorado.
As you all know, we went out to Colorado and we spent a little bit of time with him. And he's not a person that we care a whole lot about at this moment in time. And that's all I'll say about Daniel Nations.
Fact. Indiana State Police did say that they could neither confirm nor deny that he was there that day. It was a straight lie by Indiana State Police. Well played, you guys, you know. But that right there is a fact.
As a matter of fact, yes, they did say that at the press conference on February 13th, 2018, because we were there and we heard what they said. And then they also contradicted themselves when Kim Riley said he still remained a person of interest. Doug Carter lied his ass off when he said they went out to Colorado to talk with Daniel. Daniel confirms that. Well, listen to him for yourself. Listen here.
But my attorney, without asking or speaking to me first, turned him away in Colorado. So naturally he wasn't able to speak to me here. But they sure made it a point to tell people, oh, well, we can't include or exclude him. So for them to keep the people out of the loop, for them to go on national television and say, we spoke to Mr. Nations and we spent time with him. I'm not somebody they care about because they know I had nothing to do with that.
Fact again. You know what? Everybody needs to just kill the incorrect opinions about Daniel Nations. None of it's true. None of it.
Can neither include nor exclude. You know what? I'd say even after all this time, we're pretty much still saying we can neither include nor exclude, and you still remain a person of interest in 3 murder cases in 2 states. You are a person of interest. He's not been officially cleared. And until I hear someone say that, he's still a person of interest.
I love my kids to death.
This is the part right here where Daniel is crying like a little girl. Now look, if you're going to script cry, take advice from ex-President Obama. Take a little Vicks Vapor, put it under your eye, you know, script up a tear when you want some money. That way you get the money and it don't look like you're being a cheesy little crying bitch. Danny.
If you ever look on there is the worst excuse for rumors that you've ever heard in your life.
Dale, look, stop listening to Redneck.
As most people know, my mom was murdered when I was 17.
This is fact, because his mom was murdered by his uncle in a fight over crack cocaine. His dad was arrested for, molesting little kids, including 4-year-old boys. And of course, Daniel has this sexual fixation about publicly masturbating and asking women if he wants to join them, pulling his pants down, stalking women, hanging out in bathrooms, publicly masturbating at Walmarts, So the list goes on, but you know what? Fact. It's straight fact.
My brother was killed here. It really... It's the whole reason that we came out here.
Fail. Totally. The reason he went to Colorado was to escape justice for public masturbation. That's the reason he left. Straight up.
Let's take a look at this family here. The brother was murdered. The mother was murdered by the uncle. The son's a convicted sex offender. The dad's a convicted sex offender. Been to prison. Molesting children at the ages of 3 and 4. What more can we expect from someone who grows up in this type of environment and is around these types of people?
Even that was a sad situation. Even when I found out that my brother had been murdered, I didn't find out from family. I didn't find out from the police. I found out because I found it on the internet. That in itself was sad.
Ready? Fail. His brother was killed, but you know what? Nobody made shit up about Daniel Nations. It was all true. All of it. Fail. You know what? His brother was the first homicide in Colorado Springs in 2017. But the fact is that at that time he had not spoke with his brother in about a year and a half, from my understanding. So I don't think they're that close a knit family.
All in all, it really boils down to this. You can cry all you want to on these videos. You can make yourself sound like you were accused of all these crazy things that you weren't a part of. You know what? Maybe you weren't a part of those things. But I tell you what, that doesn't make you a good dude. Being in the Marines does not make you a good dude, because look what you did while you were in there. Why aren't you in the Marines anymore, Daniel? Was it a public masturbation thing? Why did you violate your probation, Daniel? Was that a public masturbation thing? Did you get put on probation for a public masturbation thing? I mean, there's only like 7 convictions in 3 or 4 states of you going to places and publicly masturbating and attempting to stalk and attempting to rape women. You, sir, are a piece of shit. Get over yourself, Daniel.
He told me, he said, the last time I spoke to him, me and Katie were going through a rough time financially, and he told me that if he could help me, that he would. And he said, worst come to worst, we could always try to, you know, come be with him, or we could rely on him. That's actually what he said, you know, to help us out. He's always looked out for me. He was a really good man. He might have been homeless, but my brother is probably the one person in my life, other than the you know, childhood antics, you know, with sibling rivalry, you know. Other than that, we never had a problem. My brother, it didn't matter what was going on. I knew that my brother loved me.
Daniel, you didn't even send your grandma a Christmas card. You made her say good fine.
I said, good fine.
Good fine. Good fine.
Good fine. He was going to Walmart to get some razor blades to shave because he was going to church. And him and some woman got into it. And he pulled his pants down in front of that woman.
Wait a minute, what did he do again?
He pulled his pants down in front of that woman.
He pulled his pants down in front of who?
In front of that woman.
What?
He pulled his pants down in front of that woman.
Say it one more time.
He pulled his pants down in front of that woman.
God, Danny. Damn, dude.
So, recently I was just sent a link. It's a GoFundMe account for Daniel James Nations. He's trying to get back on his feet. He needs money. He needs $2,000 to get himself back on his feet and back into society as a normal, law-abiding citizen. I've seen people send money to that account, and I encourage them not to. And then, most recently, as of last night, I was told that, oh, this person's scamming me out of money. Well, first off, I told y'all not to send any money to that account. Second, I would report that account because he's using it to escape his legal obligations in Indiana. Now, if anybody doesn't know this, Daniel Nations has an active warrant in Indiana right now. He's wanted. He has a warrant for his arrest. What he's doing is he's trying to save up the $2,000 for bond money. That way, when he gets arrested and brought back to Indiana, he'll be able to bond out and roam the streets freely. You can't do that. Because if I recall, I went to jail last year sometime, and Michael set up a GoFundMe account to try to collect bond money. Guess what? They shut that down. Bam, quick. You can't do that. Daniel's using it for legal fees. Everybody report that GoFundMe page. Don't send him a dime. He's scamming you. If you don't believe me, ask the other people who sent it to him. It's a scam. If you want to get him talking and stuff like that, send us the money and we'll go out there and meet him face to face and we'll say everything that we want that you want us to say. Period. On that note, everybody, I'm Anthony Greeno. Keep it Southern style, y'all.
Yeah, this is absolutely true. I did set up a GoFundMe for Greeno when he was in Tippecanoe County, and a troll, probably Mike Cunningham, you know, like got on there and told him, like, you know, no, he's trying to get this for bond money. So yeah, that's exactly what Daniel Nations is doing and trying to use it for, and I don't even know why his GoFundMe is still up. I don't. It seems like everybody and their brother would have turned him in for that, but apparently it's fine if he does it. It's different if it's for Greeno. I don't know. But anyway, I'd go there and start clicking that report button and get him hammered because he don't need that money. If he does, you know what? Have him drop it in PayPal, Daniel. And yeah, you know what? My feelings dive the same way. WKAT firmly believes with all of its heart that Daniel Nations is a piece of shit. See you in the next video. Peace, y'all.